What up, world? Fly Eagles Fly. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's to everyone. Welcome to the Blunt Talk Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Wright, coming to you from the beautiful, comfortable, and chilly confines of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Wherever you guys may be watching and listening, I thank you as always. Like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. You can check the show out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Substack. And also on Podbean and Trovo. Guys, I thank you so much as always. Again, happy holidays. I hope that your Christmas was magical. I hope you guys are anxious and ready for the new year. Many blessings, wealth, and prosperity to you all. Thank you for plugging in. I took a little week off during the holiday to make sure I had some time off with the family. It was much needed. I hope you enjoyed yours. I hope you enjoyed your gifts and everything like that. And as you can see, we got a new addition now to the show. Shout out to my brother Marv for hooking us up. We got the T.O. plaque. T.O.'s first game, actually first touchdown as an Eagle preseason against the Baltimore Ravens. Got that up there. You see, got Terrell Owens right there. So real hype about that. But even more hype about that fucking victory yesterday. Oh my God. Thorough ass whipping. I mean, there's no more of a beautiful way to put away the Dallas Cowboys. Kelly green jerseys. And then on top of it, you're beating the dog shit out of your arch rival. It was a magical Sunday in South Philadelphia. Before I go any further, I definitely want to make sure, guys, still college football season. College football playoffs are still in full swing. Tickets are still available. So, guys, check out the links I got there in the description on StubHub. Best place in the world to shop for tickets, concerts, and events, wherever you're looking for. StubHub has it. Especially for my football enthusiasts, college football fans. I have my college football episode coming up shortly after this. Whenever you see it, definitely, like I said, in this episode and in that episode, check the link. If you're still looking for tickets to get to any of the college football playoff games that's coming up, definitely, like I said, StubHub is a place to go for tickets, concerts, and events. Anyway, getting into the game, masterful performance. I was worried going into the game. I was going to do a preview video, but I kind of felt like it was unnecessary because, honestly, God truth, this victory should have happened. In all honesty, the Dallas Cowboys are atrocious. They're a walking dumpster fire this year. Since Dak Prescott's been out, been ineffective. And when Dak was in, they were ineffective. No running game. Defense has been porous at best. You're playing a top 10, offense. You're playing a top 3 defense. I'm not shocked that they only scored 7 points. What I'm shocked at is that everybody fed into the narrative of if Jalen plays, how limited will the offense be? As if Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni are fucking stupid. As if they wouldn't give this man a week to prepare. And we see how crucial it was to have both quarterbacks prepared, Pickett and Mckee. Touch on that in a little bit, but I want to make sure I give a shout out to Kenny Pickett first of all. Kenny Pickett was more prepared for this game than last week. It showed. Kenny Pickett was 10 of 15, 143 yards, 1 touchdown. He definitely looked sharp. He had that funny ass play where I thought the ball got knocked out of his hands, but he really fucking fell forward throwing the ball, which is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. But nonetheless, it happened, and it was the most comical moment of the day. Thank God it didn't come back to hurt us, but yeah, like I said, Kenny Pickett was solid. He did exactly what he needed to do. The defense. Fuck just giving up 7 points. The defense was just flat out dominant. Flat out dominant. Took the game to Dallas. Made sure Dallas had no say-so. No. And it's weird because that first drive, you kind of felt like, okay, Dallas might have something. 70-yard drive. The first drive, they throw the pick six to CJ Gardner-Johnson. Shout out to CD Deuce. Great pick six. You clearly see, like, okay, maybe they come respond right back, 70-yard drive, they score. You're like, all right, it's going to be a football game. We're going to have to fight today. And it was tight for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it was just, they are really a bad football team. It shows. And Cooper Rush, for some reason, when he plays the Philadelphia Eagles, he looks like the worst fucking quarterback in NFL history. There's something to it with him, with Philadelphia, where he just has to play this defense and this team, and he's just not prepared. It's kind of unfortunate because if you really think about it, Cooper Rush just had to play the 2002 Philadelphia Eagles defense, and then he had to play this defense. Not great. Not great if you're a backup quarterback who's not really that good. It's not really a great look for you. So kind of sucked for him on that one, but fuck him. He's Cooper Rush. He's a Cowboys quarterback. Anyway, I liked how Pickett relied on his supporting cast, and it definitely showed and helped. Saquon, 31 carries, 167 yards. I would definitely get to Saquon Barkley hitting 2,000 in a minute, guys. Give me one moment. But I loved what they did. I mean, Barkley was getting touches. Smitty, 6 catches, 120 yards. Smitty was destroying the Dallas Cowboys secondary. A.J. Brown got in there on the action. He had a touchdown, 3 catches, 36 yards. He was getting on the action. Calcaterra. You know, and I've been harsh on Calcaterra at certain points and aspects of the season. I think his pass blocking and run blocking leaves a lot to be desired. However, he does have games where, and it's usually every other game, but he has games where he makes a great catch or an athletic play that puts the Eagles in a great down and distance situation where it's like, okay, he made up for that fuck up he had, you know, the week prior or a couple plays prior. That great catch he had, you know, deep downfield, which pretty much set the team up. I mean, these guys, they played, and it was backups playing yesterday, guys. I mean, you know, Tyron Davis-Price got some action. I see in the receiving wise, E.J. Jenkins had got a target. You know, they got batted away, but, you know, the backups were playing yesterday. But the ball distribution was there. It was 13 receptions, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 from Smitty, obviously, 1 from A.J. Brown, of course, your money guys. Loved it, though. Loved the contribution that the offense gave them. They supported them. I love the game plan that Kellen Moore had. He didn't just put Kenny Pickett in a situation where it was like, you got to figure it out. Kenny Pickett had help, so it was great to see that. Tanner Mckee. Y'all have known, I said this after the Washington game. If you watched the live stream, I said Tanner Mckee should be getting touches. They should be getting this guy prepped. They should be getting him ready. I think he's more athletic. He has a better arm than Kenny Pickett. They got to put this guy in there. For Kenny Pickett to get knocked on his ass by Michael Parsons, you know, jarring hit. He was already dealing with rib injuries. We kind of knew, you know, he probably wasn't going to last the whole game, especially it being a physical game, if a defense wanting to spoil, you know, Philadelphia's chances, opportunities at clinching. You know, he was going to get hit. Tanner Mckee played well on relief duty today for Kenny Pickett. You know, final numbers wasn't much, but again, he had to throw the ball. That's the most important part about this that you got to keep into the aspect of everything. It wasn't like he could just hand the ball off to Saquon and just dead hand the ball and just let Saquon run into the lineman or run for more yards. He had to actually complete passes. Tanner Mckee was 3 or 4, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns, both of them to Devontae Smith. One was the Devontae Smith, one was the Smitty. Tanner Mckee looked good. Ball placement looked good. He looked like he was poised. He was ready. You could definitely see he had some practice reps this week. It looked like he had command of the offense. I liked it. I liked a lot of what I saw. Definitely liked how the coaching staff had those guys ready this week. And just, you know, fucking bravo to Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni. It was just great. Great job. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley reaching 2,000 yards. This has been, in my opinion, the most remarkable season by an Eagles free agent since Terrell Owens. You know, it's like irony that I got this man's, you know, plaque here on the wall. This has been the best free agent acquisition that this team has had since Terrell Owens. Now, I could argue C.J. Gardner-Johnson, guy's been here less than 2 years, 12 interceptions, dominant defensive player. Defense definitely looks different when he's not out in the field. Saquon Barkley has changed life for the Philadelphia Eagles. This team had won 10 or 11 games. This team had won 12-plus games. This team has been to a Super Bowl. They didn't have a guy to help seal the deal. This guy right now, you got to think, if this defense keeps playing in the way it's playing, this team's in prime position to compete for this championship. And more importantly, in a prime position to win the conference. They got to really just get healthy, rest up their bodies these next couple weeks. This Giants game is frivolous. Me personally, I'm torn as a fan because I do want to see history. You know, I know Saquon can easily get 100 yards against that shitty-ass Giants defense. I know that. I know that with my eyes closed. That being said, I don't believe it's worth risking the Super Bowl to break Eric Dickerson's record. That's great if you break Eric Dickerson's record, but if we don't do shit in the playoffs, it's kind of a wasted season. And all that work and all that energy and everything, it just goes for naught. So I just feel like personally, in my honest opinion, and again, Sirianni and Saquon and the guys and the team, you heard, you'll see comments here, Jordan Mailata was saying he kind of wants guys to play next week. Lane was saying, the vet saying, nah, fuck that, let's rest so we have our bodies ready for the playoffs, which I tend to agree with. But it's going to be interesting because, it is history. And, Eric Dickerson's comments about not wanting Saquon to break it, I really don't care too much to even delve too much into that because, let's be honest, Eric Dickerson's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest running backs ever, but he didn't do shit in the postseason. So that's why I kind of feel like that award, that record, it's great. But if you don't really win in the end, as an individual accomplishment is great, but team-wise, doesn't really benefit you. So, but nonetheless, shout out to Saquon Barkley, man. Like I said, best free agent acquisition since Terrell Owens. I'll argue anybody on that. And just wrapping this episode up, Eagles clinched the division, second time in 3 years. Remarkable to see. First time they swept Dallas since 2011. I mean, you had guys. I mean, I actually look back at that roster. You're talking about the Byron Rolls, the Danny Watkins, bums. There's not even anybody left from the team on that roster anymore. Jason Kelce, I believe that was his rookie season. So keep that in mind. Nobody's left from that roster anymore. So for this to happen, it was a monumental feat. Fourth time in team history, the team has got over 12 wins or 13 wins. And all 4 times, the Eagles made the Super Bowl. Keep that in mind. So, yeah, rest your starters next week. Giants season is over. They're playing for the draft. You're playing for a championship. It's pretty simple math to me. Let Tanner Mckee and the backups, let them get burned. Let Kenny Pickett rest his ribs up. Keep it as the emergency quarterback if need be. But let Tanner Mckee get some burn. Let the backups get some burn. If we win the game, great. If we don't, we'll be 13-4. Who fucking cares? I honestly feel like we could beat anybody on the road or at home. It would have been great to have, all the playoff games be in Philadelphia. It would have been fantastic. But as I've been saying for weeks, guys, the number 1 seed was not realistic because, as you saw last week, fuck shit happening. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Now, fuck. If Detroit doesn't show up tonight, Minnesota's going to win the number 1 seed. And the way they're playing, I don't know if anybody can really beat them in the Dome. Unless they catch Sam Darnold slipping, but that's for another day. That's going to do it for this episode, guys. I thank you as always. Again, like, share, and subscribe. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.